Hello, everybody. Here is one fascinating reason why you or your family member are stuck in a bad situation. One of our superpowers as people is adaptation. People live in hot areas, they live in cold areas. We can adapt to anything. That is a superpower. But how does it work against us? We can adapt to horrible situations as well. We love our rat studies around here. So, one study I'd like to reference today, they took our poor rats and they put them in conditions that were inhospitable, dirty, not much food or water, loud noises, scary, really traumatizing actually for animals. And once the rodents had adapted to that area enough, they opened up the doors of that area to a nicer area that had food, it was clean, it had water. And as you would imagine, the rats would get curious and they'd sniff around, they might eat some of the food and water, look around, but in the end, they would go back to their terrible conditions because that is what they adapted to. That had become what I like to call their psychological or their mental home. It's what they were comfortable with, it's what they were used to, even if it's terrible. This is why you or somebody you know could be in a terrible relationship and it's obvious and they still don't get out of it. They've adapted to it. It's become a habit. It's become home. It's become comfortable to them. And as you probably know, change is very, very hard. And our brains are very lazy. They will go to the path of least resistance. So if change is up this way and it's a lot of work and it's hard, we will shy away from that and we will actually go with what's known, what's easy, what paths are already carved into our brains, our habits, even if it's terrible. Another interesting finding in this rat study was that when they scared the rats, they made some loud noises. They stressed out the rats. The rat would run back to its home. Terrible conditions. So when stress was increased on the mammal, on the animal, it would happily and willingly go back to its home that was a terrible condition and leave the nice conditions. This kind of further emphasizes with when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're angry, we all kind of go back to our lower selves. We go back to our subconscious programming, even if by default it's not as good. There's many other reasons we get stuck, but I thought this was a very fascinating one. We humans, we animals, we are the ultimate adaptation machine, which benefits us, but you can adapt to terrible situations and terrible circumstances until they become your psychological home. And you're more likely to return to them even if better circumstances appear. It's very challenging, it's very hard to break out of that adaptation, that habit. But what is the starting point? As always, it's awareness. It's being aware of this. That's why I'm bringing it to you. It's not going to change overnight, but be armed with this information and try to see it in yourself. Try to be mindful. See when this appears in you. See where are you stuck right now and if any of this resonates. Again, it won't change overnight, but the huge first step is being aware of it. All right, everybody. I hope that helps somebody. Take care.